Raw took place tonight in London, England at the O2 Arena. This was the final stop on WWE's first European tour of 2025. One thing that was different from this tour compared to other years is that this took place before WrestleMania, where all the other tours always took place in the weeks after WrestleMania. And I have to say that despite how good the show was tonight, I'm glad this tour is over, because despite how good the fans were, WWE did not put their best foot forward. Again, tonight was a great show. The four, and SmackDown I thought was a decent show. The previous four shows under-delivered. They're going to put their best events on in the United States, and the only way you'll get a really good show out of WWE is if they're in a major international city like London. Glasgow last week, clearly they didn't give us the best show. That was just phoning it in. But, I think they know the crowd will react to anything, so they can get away with putting on mediocre shows sometimes, but this tonight was the exception. I'm just saying that in general for the whole tour, which I felt in some ways dragged down this WrestleMania build-up. That's how I feel. Now, let's talk about tonight's Raw. This was London's 15th time hosting a Raw, their first in 6 years. You had Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Logan Paul, the Usos, Gunter, all arrive in London for tonight's Raw. You start the show off with John Cena coming out. He gets a big ovation. There is a "Let's Go Cena, Cena Sucks" classic dueling chants. Before he can talk, Cody Rhodes comes out, and we get a Stardust reference, as Cody started off by saying, well, what can Cena say to me? Cena's going to cook me. What's he really going to say to me? He kind of disarms the situation by bringing up all the obvious ways to attack Cody. He brings up his lisps, then he brings up the Stardust thing, and there was a brief Stardust chant. Cody he tells Cena to tell the fans why, and then Cena says he is not going to cook Cody. He's going to bury him like he buries mediocrity. He's referring to Cody as mediocre. He says that he would end careers who are mediocre. He says Cody as champion disgusts him. He calls him Cena's chauffeur, which was referenced because Cody would always drive around Cena when they would travel together back in the day. That was, 15 years ago probably, maybe less. And that was Cena's way of really attacking Cody. When he's calling Cody a common man, he really rips into him. And his whole point is Cody isn't authentic. That was, I think, a fair way. I think Cody sometimes comes off as too polished, which Cena also said. And, the fans started cheering for Cena, and especially after he made the best line of the whole segment, "I make empires for billionaires. All you've ever done is steal money from their kids." We all know who he's referencing there. Cody references Vince. He says how Cena was the chosen one, which it's sort of true in a way. Kind of not true. I think Stephanie was probably more responsible for Cena's rise to the top than Vince was, because Vince was about to fire him. But he brings that up. So both Vince McMahon and Tony Khan were mentioned in this promo. Cody he hits back. He didn't hit him as well as Cena did. Cody's not seen on the mic, but I thought Cody held his own. And Cena was referencing on the internet how people thought, well, they're protecting Cody from him because they know Cena will cook him. So it makes me think, someone in WWE really is paying attention to some of the discourse that's said on social media. And Cena, I thought, did very well. Bringing that up, I thought Cody hit him with some good shots. He's saying how Cena sold out to The Rock. That's the first time we've heard The Rock's name in a month since Elimination Chamber. Why don't we hear The Rock? Is he even going to be at WrestleMania? He has to be. I don't think he's going to be in the match. I don't think it's going to be like last year where he's going to come out, and then a lot of people think Steve Austin will come out and stun The Rock. Rock will do the big bump, and then you'll have Rock and Stone Cold in the ring together. I don't think we're going to get that. I think we're just getting a match with Cody and Cena this year. I don't think we're going to get the same thing as last year at the main event of Roman and Cody. So anyway, this was a really good exchange, really good segment. Eventually, Cody laid out Cena with the crossroads. He stands over tall, and this is the last time John Cena's advertised for a WWE show until WrestleMania. So in many ways, this would have been the go-home segment for Raw on the go-home show of WrestleMania, but Cena's not there because this really felt like it. And we're not going to see John Cena until WrestleMania, most likely. Maybe he makes a surprise appearance. Maybe he attacks Cody because Cody laid him out, and how this isn't true with Triple H's WWE, but with Vince, whenever you'd get the last laugh, or whenever one guy would beat up the one guy on Raw before the pay-per-view, that means he's losing on the pay-per-view. That's not always true. Cody can still win, but it makes you think Cena's going to win because he's not advertised for any other show. So we'll see how everything goes, but great segment. Really needed that. Definitely better than the one in Brussels, which I liked. A lot of people didn't like the one last week in Glasgow. I kind of like that one more. This was way better. This was easily the best promo. I would say it's the best segment. And there's another one on the show that really rivaled it, but probably the best segment since the Elimination Chamber. So you had Wade Barrett joining Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on commentary in London. You had the New Day come out. They're healing on the crowd. Adam Pearce comes out and introduces their opponent. It's the New Catch Republic. Tyler Bates back. That's cool. He's been out since July. He teams with his old partner Pete Dunne. And New Day win. I was thinking to myself, what the fuck? What a way to kill the New Catch Republic in their own country. Why haven't them lose here? I even booked this match. Couldn't they book them against another tag team they can just beat? Anyway, Kathy Kelly comes down the entranceway, and she interviews the New Day. They want a shot at the tag team titles. Then they have the Viking Raiders come out, make their entrance to confront them. I don't think that's at WrestleMania. I think that's most likely night after WrestleMania. Jay talks to Jimmy backstage about the match with Gunther. Jay tells Jimmy to be careful. So clearly they're going to do a big angle. That was obvious by that tone of the segment. You had Jackie Redmond interviewing Ludwig Kaiser on the break. He is upset that he's not currently on the WrestleMania card. He wants to get on. I hope he gets on. I doubt it, but it's too bad because I don't think he's ever had a match at WrestleMania since he's been on the main roster. He wasn't on 39. He wasn't on 40. He made appearances on those shows, but just in support of Gunther. He even out for the match, and it looks like he's going to miss 41, unfortunately. They highlight Triple H's career, and this was the Hall of Fame segment they do every week, and they're focusing this one on the legendary street fight with Cactus Jack at Madison Square Garden at the Royal Rumble in 2000. What an awesome match. The thumbtack spot, that was just a crazy match. That was great. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are now officially announced to host the Hall of Fame. I don't mind that. It's just, the problem with me is the Hall of Fame's going to start like at midnight or past midnight, 12:30 in the morning. It's kind of late for me. And it's not fair because, or it's not ideal for me because once I do the Hall of Fame review, I got to wake up. Then I think 12:30 Eastern is NXT, and I don't know how long the Hall of Fame's going to go. Maybe it's 3 hours, 3:30. So got to review a SmackDown, then immediately review a Hall of Fame, then Stand and Deliver, then WrestleMania 41 Night 1. So it's a lot of reviews I have lined up on that Saturday, on that Friday to Saturday, April 18th to 19th. You had Bianca Belair backstage. She's getting instructions from a referee on how to ref for the main event, which was Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. We get to Gunther and Jimmy Uso. I thought Jimmy got a lot of bit of offense. Gunther won with the sleeper hold after he extended a match to punish Jimmy. So Gunther then goes back. He puts a sleeper back on Jimmy. Jay makes a save. After the break, Gunther jumps to Usos, and then he zip ties Jimmy to the ropes. So his hand is zip tied to one of the ring ropes on the outside. And then Jay gets back in the ring. So he's still zip tied, but he's trying to get at Gunther. He's in the ring. Gunther's in the ring too. He holds the belt up to hold Jay. And then as Jimmy's recovering on the outside, Jay just strikes Jimmy right in the head with the World Heavyweight title. We see Jimmy go down. Jay and Gunther go back and forth. And we see Jimmy try to get back up. And now he's bloodied open. He is busted. He is bleeding pretty bad. It's much more than what Cody bled at the Chamber. He was cut. And then Gunther just brutalizes Jimmy. He hits him with forearms. He forces Jay to watch. He punches him. He rubs or he smears Jimmy's blood on his torso, which was a sick visual. You can see Gunther covered in Jimmy's blood. You can see him holding Jimmy up as he beats him down, forcing Jay to watch. And then another segment is when Jay has one of his hands is still tied in ropes. He uses his other hand to put it over Jimmy's head as he just busted open unconscious. And then Gunther in the background holding the belt past the WrestleMania sign right under it, actually. I think that's going to be my thumbnail. That was a great visual. This was the best thing this feud has had, and I've been shitting on this feud for the last 2 months. I don't like Jay. I think he was a bad choice to owner, but I still feel that way. However, this feud, this needed something like this. It was a heavy angle. It was a great angle. Easily the best thing that's happened between these two. Building up to this match, this was awesome. Awesome segment. I still don't want Jay to win the match. It makes me think he probably will after this segment. I really don't want him to win. I don't want him to be champion. I think he's going to suck as champion, just like he sucked since the Rumble, but this was still a great segment. They recap SmackDown, and it's official that the Triple Threat match is the main event for Saturday. And they also announced that Travis Scott's Fiend is the official theme song. I thought they just said that the Weeknd song was the official theme song on SmackDown. So I guess they're going to go with 2 official theme songs. There's always one official theme song, and there's like 2 or 3 others under it. But I guess you have 2 officials this year. Judgment Day backstage. They won't bring in a new member. He had Liv really upset with Finn, and Finn made a derogatory. He sort of insulted Raquel that she couldn't win the Intercontinental title, so they're teasing more feud. The whole thing is going to be Liv and Finn in a power struggle. You had Penta and Braun Breaker against Dominic and Finn Balor, so a shocker here. Finn Balor pins Penta. Penta takes his pinfall loss in WWE, loses to Finn Balor. Clearly getting Braun Breaker and Penta. I was thinking that maybe Penta would team with Phoenix. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Eventually that's going to happen. They'll be the Lucha Bros, but Penta right now is feuding with Braun at WrestleMania. I think it's still a multi-man match, probably a triple threat with Finn. I think that's what we're getting. Chad Gable's backstage. He talks to Adam Pearce. He wants to wrestle in Minnesota next week, which is his hometown. So many amateur wrestlers are from Minnesota. You have Mr. Perfect, Brock Lesnar. I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch, but I know those 2 really stick out. He is upset he can't, but Pierce reads the doctor's note that he's sick and that he can't wrestle in London. However, Pierce announces that, he says that Chad won't wrestle in Minnesota next week. Instead, he's going to schedule Andrade Americano. Chad looks disappointed. Then Alpha Academy walks in. Chad bumps into the Alpha Academy, calls them idiots. He especially insults Otis. Maxine Dupree then talks to Adam Pearce about her career and something with Natalia. I don't know. I don't think anyone really cares about that. They show Rhea Ripley and Io Sky warming up backstage. Jackie Redmond interviews Karrion Kross and Scarlett at the break. It was just a basic interview. There's a report that came out about Kross that his contract's up, and WWE seems to really like his work, especially on social media. I hope they keep him. I think he's really starting to do better now. He had AJ Styles out for the segment with Logan Paul. Backstage, Penta's yelling at Braun, and he, in a very thick Latino accent, he calls Braun stupid, you stupid. It just made me laugh. There was something about that just made me chuckle. I thought that was funny, and Braun was upset. So I think we're getting the triple threat. AJ calls out Logan Paul, even though it was advertised for Logan Paul to call out AJ Styles. They go back and forth. The fans just hate Logan Paul. He says the city can't afford him. He calls everyone broke, which I thought was very funny. And I think when he said the city can't afford him, I almost made me think, is that a reference to London not being able to put up the funds for WrestleMania? I mean, didn't the mayor of London meet with Triple H and Nick Khan to bring WrestleMania to London, and he didn't get it? It kind of makes me think that was kind of a shot at London in a way. Anyways, he challenges AJ to a match at Mania. They brawl around the ring. Eventually, Logan gets the finish. He lays out AJ Styles, and he stands tall over him, and clearly that's a direction for WrestleMania. Backstage, Jack interviews Lyra Valkyria. She wants to face Bayley next week, and right when she mentions Bayley's name, Fans start serenading her, and they start saying, "Oh, Bailey, we know that song." But it's an Intercontinental title match next week on Raw. It makes me think that Raquel and Liv are going to attack, and I guess we're going to get maybe a tag match at WrestleMania. Maybe it's Lyra and Bailey against Liv and Raquel. I heard Alexa Bliss tweeted something like, "Why on Raw?" Maybe she's upset. I don't know. Maybe that's a storyline, but I read some of that in the discourse. Anyway, I guess that's the match. Bailey and Lyra challenging Liv and Raquel. That's a fine match for WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind it. To recap, Gunther and Jay angle. So really, they had to. That was the best thing that they've had. Like, that's been such a dead rivalry. It's one of the worst built-up world title matches in a while, and I still think the match is gonna suck. But that was a great angle. I'll keep saying it. I still have my complaints. However, it was a great angle. Bianca Belair comes out dressed as special guest referee. Then backstage, you had Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez congratulate Finn Balor and Dom. Finn is taking credit. He says he's going to go ask for a title shot. And Liv is upset. You can see the look on her face when Finn leaves. She's telling Dom that Finn is disrespecting him because Finn is saying he won and not they didn't win. Anyway, we get our main event. Io Sky defends her Women's World Championship against Ripley with special guest referee Bianca Belair. So Rhea was out first, then Io. Fans have to say we're much more into Io than Rhea here. Even Rhea got some boos, which never happens. Also, I found it funny. Maybe Rhea wears this every week, but it seemed like her tights were very short. And I don't know, is that a reference to Mickie James? I saw a clip on the LFG shows that the women are showing too much ass. Okay, it's Mickey's opinion. I mean, I think what made her a star was the Trish Stratus angle, and yeah, I think we know what happened there and what she did there, but I don't know. Maybe that was. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, or looking too much into it. I don't know. Anyway, fans love Io Sky. I like her a lot. Who doesn't like Io Sky? They don't like Bianca too much. Rhea, they didn't hate her, but they were just more into Io here. But Io is very popular in international markets. I've noticed that. She isn't as popular in the U.S. because when they had that match on Raw a few weeks ago, Rhea was just way more over than Io. Anyway, the match got really good at the end. He had some good top rope counters. Io did some good counters onto Rhea. When I was watching, I was thinking to myself, you know what? They're going to have a great triple threat match at WrestleMania, these three. Bianca disqualifies them both after they both hit her. Rhea did it on purpose, but Io by accident. After the match, however, Io's down. She gets laid out. Rhea just destroys Bianca, shits her with two riptides. Stands tall, holds the belt up, and they still have not announced a triple threat match. And Michael Cole really wanted you to believe that's just going to be Io and Bianca at WrestleMania, which it's not. So I assume next week they'll just announce a triple threat. It's a little bit late to announce it. 2 weeks. Maybe I'll just announce it anyway. Everyone knows Rhea's going to be in a match, so it's not a big deal. Anyway, definitely Raw was a big improvement from last week. I ranted pretty hard about last week. This was the best show WWE has done since going on this European tour. Raw was very good this week. Really enjoyed it. He had a great opening segment with Cody Rhodes and John Cena, and he had another great angle with Jey Uso and Gunther. So both world title angles delivered here. And overall, thumbs up show all around. WrestleMania needed it. The build up to WrestleMania needed it. The road to WrestleMania needed it. We'll see what happens next. So on Friday, WWE returns to the United States in Chicago, Illinois. That's significant because in Chicago, last year you had one of the greatest Monday Night Raws of all time when The Rock bloodied up Cody Rhodes. That's what I thought really elevated that WrestleMania build-up to a new height. That was one of the best Raws ever. Maybe the best ever. I don't think we're going to get the best SmackDown ever, but we should get a great show. It's going to be a great crowd in Chicago. Expect some fireworks this Friday. So, the road to WrestleMania returns to the United States. I say, I like to think of it as we took the long way this year. We're back on the road, and we'll see what happens as we continue on the road to WrestleMania.